Good afternoon and welcome to another summary of the virtual directions on day 2. So just left the last session with the Q&A of some of the Microsoft executives and people. I would summarize and state that the theme of scale was probably also top of mind for day 2. So yesterday we heard about the momentum that Business Central already has in the market, with 10,000 customers now on Business Central SaaS, 1,000 apps on App Source, which basically makes Business Central the #1 platform for apps, only followed by SharePoint, if I recall well. So there's a lot of momentum for Business Central. There's a lot of momentum for Dynamics, really. So they put a number up that basically said the market growth for business application is around 17%, and Dynamics 365 has a growth of 47%. So we're definitely on the right platform. And interestingly, also if you look at the ISV opportunity, it's really big. So they said there's based on studies, there's an total market for business application in SMB of 213 billion in 2025. However, 51 billion of that is purely SMB ISVs. So there's a big opportunity outside of making money with the license that basically sits in the ISV play. There was also then discussion around, how can you scale more customers? Yesterday we heard this theme about building a better onboarding experience, more self-service for customer that should help to scale and build more capacity and grow customer. And today there was some talk about partner-to-partner relationships. Working together with some of the modern workplace partners to then get greater scale, get into customers easier. They showed some interesting example how that could work. So definitely something we will look into as well. How can we do that and provide some guidance for our partners in that. So scale was another piece. Obviously, there was then a discussion around competencies because Microsoft also sees that as a way to scale, so that you can claim your competency to new customers that you have around Business Central. And Microsoft was announcing or giving details now how this new Business Central competency in cloud really looks like. As you probably have heard, there are performance indicators that will define whether you can achieve a competency, either silver or gold. And if you look at it in the first place, it feels a bit like, wow, because only cloud revenue, cloud customers will count against that competency. And cloud for Microsoft in this case is only Business Central SaaS. So if you have Business Central hosted on Azure, for example, it doesn't really count against those performance indicators. On the other hand side, this is where Microsoft is heading. This is the future. This is what they want to scale out. And then you could argue it's only consequent to basically put that in focus for any future competency. Now, we will discuss that a bit more in detail, and you will find the details, of course, here at QBS. I would argue, it is will become challenging, but we already gave feedback that it would be great to have a bit of a calculator against these performance indicators so that you can see with your current trajectory how close you're getting to make that competency. And I think a great start into that competency is to get the exams for your people, which is in this case an MB 800. And at QBS, we have a special where you get a discounted price for 5 exams that your people can do. And you need those 5 people anyway to get into the competency. So I think a great offer there. But that was another topic also now in the Q&A that has been discussed, the competency and the scale that you need as a partner in order to get there. Then COVID-19 was a theme here and there. There was a partner impact study that was released that I found quite interesting, where you see that a lot of partners, in fact, 75%, if I recall well, actually hired new people during the crisis. Most of the partners are actually confident that either they are going back to the status where they have been prior to COVID-19 next year, or even better, because they have focused on the right industry. So we had, I think, some good conversations there. And I found it also interesting that some partners are now basically looking into industries and verticals that they want to focus that are resilient to some of the COVID-19 crisis and show lesser impact. So quite some good discussions there. And of course, there have been many, many technical sessions. Not only that I'm not exactly the best person to comment on those technical details, but we will have a lot of that content in our QB shares that are coming up, but also into the summaries that we will publish after this virtual directions. Now, normally, if this would have been directions, we would have the directions party now coming on. So I would certainly enjoy people here with a beer, but this is not going in this point. So I think I'm gonna have a beer myself, and then we'll be back with another summary tomorrow. Hope you can enjoy an evening, and I'll see you then tomorrow.